of the Wells County Plat Committee to order for our February 19th meeting. And we start off with a roll call. Jared Hahn is here. Bill Horan here. Lynn Huffman is here. Nick Huffman is here. And Michael Lotzenheiser is here. Everyone's present and accounted. Approval of minutes from the February 5th meeting.
Move to approve the minutes.
Okay. Motion to approve by Jared and seconded by Lynn. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Passed 5-0. All right, so I'm assuming we're doing our first up here, the major subdivision, item 26-03-05, Harrison Township, northeast quarter of 526 North, 12 East, Bluffton Family Apartments, MM LLC, requests approval for a 41-lot subdivision located at the end of both Central Street and West South Street in Bluffton, and currently zone R3. So,
Yeah.
make sure your
I think
microphone's
the
turned on.
button's
Okay.
Up. Yeah, the button goes up.
We're broadcasting online, so we have to be official. That's why I'm repeating everything that happens here, so it's.
Well, thank you very much. Good morning to all. Marty Spies with North Point Engineering and Surveying, representing the developers, Gorman and Company, for this project. The project name is Bluffton Family Townhome Condominiums, as stated. Do you need my address?
No, you're fine.
Okay. Overall view of the project and kind of listing kind of where we're at with the project. This project, the Planning Commission has seen, and we have presented construction design drawings that previously have been reviewed and approved. Just to overview some of the highlights of that process. This project does lie adjacent to kind of south and east of the Walter Johnson legal drain. The development will incorporate a detention facility that will ultimately discharge into the drain. The project, as mentioned, is 41 units. We can call them lots or units interchangeably. This is a condominium development, so you might hear me refer to them as units. There are 10 buildings. Each building will have 4 units, which comprise 40 units, and then there'll be a common community building, which will be the 41st unit on the site being proposed. The site will have on stormwater detention, everything being collected and discharged to the detention facility, as mentioned. The off-site storm drainage coming from Central Avenue is being rerouted, as you may recall, during the design process, where the storm sewer is going to be removed and replaced on site to follow along the east property line, where a 20-foot storm drainage easement is going to be dedicated to the city of Bluffton for their ownership, operation, and maintenance in the future, of which currently that storm system we discovered during the development process does not have an easement dedicated to Bluffton, so we are correcting that. The sanitary sewer is and the water main are coming off of Central Avenue, connecting into existing infrastructure there. So that's kind of the overall development. As far as permits go, we have a IDEM general permit in place because of all the utilities being really services to the site. We don't feel that falls under the requirement of needing any IDEM water or sanitary sewer permits. And also with the legal drain improvement, there's no floodplain or floodway jurisdiction there, so It's just work within that area. No IDM permitting required there per our understanding of their rules. And also, one of the requirements during the planning commission was that we did not have any proposed buildings within the current legal drain limits, and we are meeting that requirement, as you can see on the information drawings provided to you. So today, as mentioned, we are here merely for the ownership, the future ownership, and platting of this development. The construction review and approval has already previously been gone through and approved. And so, you know, we're presenting this primary plat, which is really preliminary, for lack of better terms, and discuss, you know, the ownership layout. Basically, everything on the project site will be common area, except for the building units. Each building will be owned privately and be set up to be owned privately. So again, each building has 4 units. Each unit will have its own description per the plat. It'll be referred to as the unit. Once we get to the final plat stages, after construction is underway, we will pick up the as-built information for each of the buildings and the common walls to just confirm the actual building locations and make any updates to the drawing should they be needed. And so that you guys will ultimately have a legal recorded document that represents what is actually built in the field. And again, there'll be a legal description for each unit. There'll be, our client is, with their legal team, is currently working on bylaws / covenants for the ownership use of all the common areas, including the common buildings. So what we would call Unit 41, which is the community building, this would be owned, operated, and maintained by the future HOA. The HOA would also be responsible for operating and maintaining all of the infrastructure outside of the building units. And then there would be some shared maintenance requirements for each of the building units themselves. But all the sidewalks, all the streets, the sanitary water storm items would all be the responsibility of the HOA in the future. I will comment on a letter or memo that we just received this morning showing that some of the utilities from Bluffton showed rejection to this development. I'm not sure how this process, I guess, works with those departments since we already have a final approval from them. I will say that when we originally presented the project, we presented with easements for City of Bluffton water and sanitary so that they could own, operate, and maintain the sanitary within our site. Since that time, we've met with them and we've decided to basically take a step back to where we originally were and just keep all of those utilities private. So with that understanding, I'd be looking for direction on the validity of any of the rejections shown on this letter.
So just to verify on that the sewer and water line, once they enter your parcel, would be private?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yep. And that would answer water distribution's comment. Donnie, you're here. Do you want to ask any questions real quick? You want to step back and let you can.
Well, I can stay right Yeah, I'll share.
Yeah. So, my comments were about the cul-de-sacs and hydrant placement. If we're not looking at the cul-de-sacs, then that's a non-issue. I thought we already approved this, so the drawing that I received on my computer, I don't get the luxury of the big paper here.
Yep.
Showed the cul-de-sacs, and I guess I wasn't 100% sure we were looking at. So my complaint was about the cul-de-sacs. If we're not talking about that, that's a non-issue. From the original drawings, and I couldn't go back and find them, I swore we had a hydrant more central in this back lane. Now the hydrant is, where you can see it on this map. Is it a valve or is that a hydrant?
That's a-
There are 4 of them on this site. There's one on the north side, north of the community building, one at the entrance of Central.
There's a hydrant right here,
Yeah, here.
and then
Hydrants look like,
here.
They look like little X's with a dot.
So do we mate?
And we have one here.
okay, I can see one.
So from this hydrant to this hydrant, are we 600 feet?
Yes, I believe so. From testing. And during the original development plan, it was the one in the front center on Central that was added
Right here.
Yes.
in the checkoff. There was 3, and that was number 4
Right.
to help with that.
Yep. Originally, we had one here, here, and here to provide coverage, and then it was requested, I think by you and maybe Tim, to add this one right here.
So we still, from the north hydrant to the south hydrant, not exceeding 600 feet here?
I don't have my scale with me right now. I don't know if
I was
Michael,
doing it
if
on a
you would
computer,
recall that, and
and I was trying to hit it on my computer screen.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we fall within, the 600-foot distance. but
The-
I'm not gonna-
Okay.
So the parcel itself,
The parcel, yeah, is 420 feet.
Yeah, this
That
is
long back,
420 feet right here.
so,
basically 650 on the east side is the length on that side.
So it has to fall in.
yeah, if you're even if you're, Connie, and you're actually saying
That's
like
400
going down and up, like following the roadway.
You were coming in from the
600 feet.
north and you follow the roadway back to the west.
Yes,
And you hit this hydrant, are we 600 feet before you get to the next hydrant that's
yeah,
south?
you're not, but you have, before you get to the next one,
It would be about
going along the roadway.
550.
Okay.
Yeah,
See, this is, just to give you a perspective, what Michael was talking about, this is 420 feet right here.
right.
From fingertip to fingertip, so, yeah, that's probably in the 500-foot range coming across there.
All right. That would be the state's
And
requirement.
I know we looked at that during the design phase, it's just
Yeah.
been several months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
So,
And then, refresh my memory, were these sprinkled?
no,
Okay.
yep.
Got it.
no. And we did, at that time, if you may recall, show turning templates
Yes.
for your vehicle
Yeah,
as well.
you guys helped us get that, because we didn't have that previous to that, so appreciate the help.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay. Answers my concerns.
Okay, no, thank you.
Yep, appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Yeah,
Yep.
thank you.
And then the final question is from the street department, and the plat does show the improvements all the way out, from your property line out to Merchant, is that correct, the right road name?
For the street improvements,
street
yeah,
improvement.
again, this was just showing the plat, so.
No, but the plat,
proposed-
the one drawing, one page shows you making that improvement.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
I think that
absolutely.
the question to that, on primary plats, usually we just include the city, street spec somewhere on the plat, just stating that that's, in that area would be built to that
Okay.
specification. And so their local street spec would just be shown, and understanding that it's from your property line out to the edge of Merchant Street.
Yep, like, just show a typical cross-section on there.
Yeah, so just take it out of the city's, spec sheet.
Yeah, no, it's in our construction drawings,
Okay,
so I can just bring that into this sheet, not a problem.
Yep.
But yeah, it is designed to meet their requirement.
okay. Yeah, I think that was the full bit of the questions. But yeah, on page 2 of 2, by committee members, you can see where their proposal to improve Central Street is, showing the curbing and the just need to verify, the spec on that. So, just a note, moving forward, not a primary plat, but a secondary plat question. The, storm and that street improvement would be, subject to maintenance or maintenance bonds, at the platting time. So once construction's all done, they
Right.
get inspected, and then 18 months, 25% for those two pieces.
Yep.
The two public pieces of infrastructure.
Yep. Would that be a 2-year maintenance and guarantee bonds, 18 months?
18 months. Yep. So once we get closer to that, we put together a document. It goes with the plat over to the city for review.
Got it.
And then the city in the past, I don't know if they will use this or not, usually has hired an engineering firm to do their site inspections for those public pieces. So they will work that out once you start moving towards the construction phase.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if it's, I might even reach out to them. We're gonna be providing some inspection for the development of the project. If they don't feel that there's any conflict of interest, actually, we'd be willing. to
I'm sure that, yeah, that can be discussed with them, or if they want to, they've usually used USI, I believe, is who they've used in the past, so.
Okay,
Yep. Okay.
I've got
good.
Yeah.
I got two questions.
Yes.
So your community building that you're creating a separate lot, but it is part of like the common area?
We are not. So that was something, I'm referring to that as Unit 41 because as a result of conversations recently we've had with Susie. Quite frankly, we don't need to do that unless the Planning Commission desires and requires us to do that.
No.
'Cause
No,
it's just
so
part of the
all we want is that,
Okay.
all we're asking is that the units have lot numbers, and then everything else is just common area A.
Okay.
So unless if you want for unless if you're going to list that out separately, then at that point you could list common area A and then common area B,
Right.
and A would be the community.
You don't need a separate lot.
They don't need to be a separate lot unless if you need that.
Unless we want it.
Yeah,
Okay. And
that was not our request was that each one has a lot number, and then the rest is covered under the common area A.
Got it. Okay. We will, I'll have that discussion, and the conversation is ongoing with the legal team on putting together those covenants.
Yeah,
bylaws,
and that
see what they want.
that part can change a little bit too. So if by the time secondary plat comes around, that is not a game changer
Yeah.
to add if you want the building and improvements area in common area A, and then everything else in common area B.
Gotcha.
Then my other question is, and does this affect like 911 addressing and all that stuff? So the buildings, say building 10, we don't really care what their lot numbers are, whether they're sequential or anything. That, like, building 10 could be 101, 102, 103, 104 as lot numbers.
Yes, no, it does, that does not affect it.
Building 8 could be 801, 802,
Yeah.
803.
So each unit is going to have there's going to be one central street address and then a unit number. So it'll be whatever central street and then unit. And then that'll match, the unit number matches up to the building number.
Or
The address, for address.
for 911 addressing.
Yep, correct.
As far as like platting and property
They
taxes,
can
those
be
things
off.
going forward,
They can be off. Yeah,
we don't want to lot 8A. It doesn't, we don't care if it's lot 801,
yeah,
802, 803.
yeah, it could be.
Does that make
to
sense?
effect.
It does. For clarity, I guess my question to the commission would be, can we leave the plat the way it is and then assign an address number later? Or would you prefer that I mirror or match the address number that you assign?
I think that would be probably pretty clear to use the address number that we already assigned for
Okay.
each unit and use that as a lot number 2. And
Sure.
that would make it 100%.
consistent.
That this lot
No,
also is this unit number.
okay. Has that already been accomplished?
Yeah.
Okay.
Somebody from the ownership.
Right, from Trent, yeah.
Yeah, had reached out and we had provided that information back to them.
Perfect. So next time you see this, then I'll get that from
Yeah.
him, and I
Yep.
will make sure that that gets updated.
Yeah, but I think that would be a very clear way of doing it. That way it does keep with the commemoration of the building number, so it'll be the root number of the unit.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah.
Would you, just out of curiosity, would you be assigning an address number to the community building?
Yes, we do have one for the community building.
Okay.
We usually issue an address to any common area, just in general.
Okay.
It's used in 911 response, so whether you ask for one or not, we would create one and then have that as, in case 911 was dispatched and somebody says, community building in this location, that you can search for that and it takes you to that location
building.
versus anywhere on the parcel.
Yep.
So that's just,
From a property tax standpoint as well, that's the reason I ask about the community building having its own lot. So if that has its own lot,
all the improvements.
it's gonna get, well, it's gonna get taxed that way, and there's gonna be a minimum drainage assessment for that lot and the common area.
Yeah.
If it's all part of the common area and it's all one lot, there's only one minimum charge.
Right.
So it's, in the grand scheme of things, it's minutia, but instead of having two tax bills that one of them can possibly get lost, if that's just part of common area, you're only gonna get one tax bill,
Yep.
so.
My hunch is I don't see any reason why they wouldn't want to just do that. Yeah, we'll have that conversation and see what.
Yeah, unless if at some point way down the road and somebody's like, well, we'd like to sell it to somebody.
Yeah,
That would be the only time that you would really run into
yep.
that question. But,
All right, yeah, good.
okay.
Okay.
I don't have anything else. I think we're clear on our end.
So this doesn't go to the plan commission next?
Yes,
or does-
yes,
It does,
is.
okay.
Yes, this is
On the
going
March
as
meeting?
as like other primary plats. that we
Okay.
go in front of the plan commission for review.
And just for clarity, Michael.
Yep.
My interpretation of the process, is that correct, being, that, we're here before you today, and then we'll go to the planning commission next, and then we'll basically be in a holding pattern until we are under construction.
Yeah, so what the general expectations for this is that Plan Commission grants primary plat approval. You present full design plans. City says, yep, that is what we approved. And specifically for the two public improvement pieces, the storm and the street that they'd be looking at. Once that has been signed off, then you start construction. Once you've completed construction and everything has passed as far as the public improvement parts, once those have passed their testing phase, the city says, yep, these are good to go. That is when we turn around and do the secondary plat.
Okay.
And that secondary plat then engages the ability to sell them, but those lot sales are way in the future for you, but that does engage that parcel.
Yeah. So what we'll be doing is the as-bills, once the foundation and the walls are just beginning.
Yes, correct.
And so we'll actually engage and perform that work at that time. Would that also be the best time to make that proposal for engagement?
I would wait until the two pieces of public improvements
infrastructure.
have been
Yeah.
completed.
Gotcha.
We can,
But so normally in a normal subdivision, it's after the pins are set, that's when we do secondary approval.
yeah, that is part.
Because you're doing condominiums, there are no pins, it's the building corner.
Yeah.
So, once you have foundations and can do as-built that way to nail down your lots, that would also, I mean, that needs to be done before they could do the secondary approval.
Yes, and he's saying,
The public infrastructure needs to be done, and you're gonna have enough foundations that you can nail down the lot locations that
Makes sense.
normally, in a normal subdivision,
Yes.
pins are set.
What I'll, the reason I ask, I just wanted to make sure for clarity that, while they're continuing with site development construction, there'll be a time where we can actually begin the secondary plant process. I will propose to our client that, they perform the construction in a manner that concentrates on the public side being done.
Yeah, and that
Front end,
helps
so that we can do that.
bring that process along, so, yeah, they're just specifically for those two pieces,
Yeah.
just need to show how they're,
Yeah.
how
So
they're gonna be
before-
built, how they're meeting the same spec, and then,
Yep, so before potentially C of Os on buildings and things like that, the plat would already be in process,
that could very well be.
or
Yeah,
at least
yep,
underway.
Sure, yep,
And then I have
yes.
one, so with the city utility sign-offs, the water is staying private,
Yes, correct,
so that, and I assume they'll give us a new sheet before the.
yes, yep, yep,
meeting. It's staying private, the fire protection, those items were answered and met, so that should be approved. Street department, that should be as well. Provided that they provide plans, all that good stuff.
yep,
By our plan commission meeting, these should all be approved.
yeah, we should have, yeah. We should be to the.
The questions have either been answered or, yeah. Okay.
You had mentioned one thing, and I'm asking because we're, if you weren't aware, I'll make everybody aware that, they're currently have this project out to bids, and are,
Yep.
I think if they haven't secured a contractor, very, very close.
Okay,
They plan on beginning construction, per my last conversations with them, was sometime in April, so fairly close. You had mentioned, I believe, one process where construction, like the city would sign off again before, like maybe a pre-construction meeting or something?
oh, so for the two public pieces, before they can start construction, you would submit the full engineering documents for those two pieces.
Okay.
That's what we're talking about.
So those two pieces.
You've already got permits to build the
The
townhomes.
site.
Yeah, you're good to go on that.
Okay.
It's just specifically full design plans for the street, full design plans for the public stormwater.
Now, when we, it was my understanding when we got the approval for the site improvements,
Yep,
the off-site improvements were also a part of the construction plan set. It was my understanding that that approval also included that because they were a part of those construction plans at that time.
yeah, usually just if they're on there, then you don't need to create anything more. They just have to look at those two pieces.
Is there anything you need from me in order to take care of that?
I'm not sure whether I know that or not.
Okay.
I would say that even if it's possible to like just break them out.
Yeah, I can,
a set.
whatever you need.
Yeah, I think that would be
That's kind of what I
very
want to
helpful.
do.
I think that'd be very helpful to be clear that these are the two pieces. Can you
Okay.
break them out in their own plans
Okay.
and go from there?
Okay,
And then it'll clear that everything else that's not on these is private
yeah, gotcha.
and goes from there.
Yep, understood. So, yeah, so just to be clear, my understanding was, before you saying that, is that everything was approved on-site and off-site, because they were all presented together. I will get you, just to cross the T, dot the I.
Yep.
Make
Yeah,
sure.
we understand that, yes, you intend to build these things to the city specifications.
And I know, like, those street improvements on Central Avenue, I know they were reviewed and approved because we got comments on them.
Yes.
And, so hopefully it's just a formality.
Yeah, it's
I
just
think
gonna
you
be,
and I are
yes,
thinking it's
correct.
just a
It is just gonna be a formality. We just
Okay.
make it clear on that.
Okay, I will, I'll make sure and get that to you.
Okay. No, thank you.
Just asking ahead, because I know time is of the essence. for
No,
them, right?
we will move with that.
I know we're a little off topic for Platts.
No, they're fine. No, this is what we're here for today.
What this meeting's for.
Yeah, just trying to loop everything together, tie it up before we get to plan commission, so. I think we're in good shape.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate your time, everybody.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Donnie. We have other items, but yes.
Or I can meet you outside, too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Perfect.
Thanks again.
No problem. Thank you.
They came to the Plat Committee earlier for the rezoning, that's what I was thinking.
Oh, yeah,
For some reason, I thought this had already been done.
No, the development plan. We did a
Right.
development plan for the whole thing, yes.
Okay.
Yep, you're right. They just platting it because it's,
Yeah, okay. All
yeah.
right, so,
Marty used to work for,
okay, this is done.
they did a lot of stuff in Boston. I can't think what company that was. Went to North Point.
Okay. Next up, we have, are these together? Are these separate?
They're separate, they're on different properties.
Okay. PC 2026-009, Rex E. Gentis, Rick Gentis Estate Rep, have a minor subdivision at 7536 South, 700 East.
Yep, so here they're splitting off 3 acres, which includes the site improvements. On this septic and well are shown, there's nothing to look at as far as modification.
Okay.
Barn is
No
plenty
setback.
far away. Yep. I'd make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
I made a motion to approve, seconded by Jared. All those in favor say aye. Aye. The vote was 5-0. Next up is, as I turn my page, 2026-010, Rex C. Genis, Rick Genis Estate Rep, is a minor subdivision at 6672 South, 700 East.
So 3.5 acre sell off with the improvements. And this one meets all requirements. Everything's shown on the plans as required.
Move to approve.
Okay, motion to approve by Nick, seconded by Lynn. All those in favor say aye. Aye. That one passed 5-0 also. Okay, next up is 2026-011. Louis Reynolds, 44-7, Luis, sorry. Yes, Luis Reynolds, 447 West, 1200 South, minor subdivision.
Okay. So this one, couple things to note. They're proposing an ingress egress easement for the shared driveway. There's 2 homes. There's one going east and there's one on the parcel that's being split off. They're also including a solar panel and electric line easement, as the panels are actually for the house on the other property, not for this one.
I think the panels do everything there.
No, they don't even run to the other residents.
Okay, I
Yeah.
thought it did like the whole farm.
No, yeah. And then, the only thing for us in review, the well, which is towards the east of the new property, is only 30 feet. But it is up against another residential property, so in the past, we've been okay granting modifications from 50, in that condition, so we would need to do that. Otherwise, everything is in.
They have separate septics?
Yes, yeah, septics are separate, wells are separate, and it's only, yeah. They only are sharing the driveway.
So we need a modification for the well setback.
Yep.
Who wants to do that?
Move to approve with that modification.
Okay, I'll second you. So motion to approve with the modification for the reduced setback for the well, by Nick, seconded by Bill. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, that one passed 5-0. That's the last one. Okay. Do we have any other business or discussions you want on the record for today or not? Not on the record? Okay.
Move to adjourn.
Okay, motion to adjourn, all second. We've adjourned at 9:35.